Hey y'all, Kim Battle again with Rodenstock Eyewear. In our video today, I'll be showing you how to properly put together and take apart our Rodenstock custom essentials. As opticians, we tend to sell what we are most confident in working on. So my goal will be at the end of this video, you will feel confident in being able to mount and dismount our rimless chassis. So on that note, I'm gonna put the white gloves on and we're gonna zoom in. So here we have everything we'll need to get started and get the job done. I have my rimless tools, which these we have ordered from Dynamic Labs. However, there are several different part manufacturers that make the rimless tools based on your personal preference. But I have a mounting plier, a cutting plier, and a demounting tool. I also have my 6 sleeves here, which come in a packet with the order of each chassis. And finally, I have an old demo lens, a thumbtack, and some Scotch tape, of which I'm going to use to share some tips with you to make the mounting process easier. So let's get started by taking one apart. In the demounting process, we will only use the demounting tool and our cutting tool. But to get started, we're going to use our tape. I recommend using the tape to help protect the lens in the event you were to slip with the cutting tool or the mounting plier. All I do is take the Scotch tape right up against the back of the lens, against the back sleeve, bringing it around to the front, right under the end piece. Each step that I'm showing you, you would repeat for both the bridge and your other temple side. It's the same process. But there's my tape. Next, we use the cutting plier to remove the sleeve off the back side of the lens. The sleeve has a T-bar that comes across it, and that's what we're trying to cut. You can see where the 2 posts meet that T-bar, and by making 2 distinct cuts, cut that sleeve and remove it from the back of the lens, making sure you removed all of the material. So our next step is using the demounting tool, which is a must-have in taking apart any rimless chassis. The one thing you never want to do is to bend an end piece back and forth, trying to separate it from the lens. Doing so can cause the prongs on the end piece to bend or even break. The demounting plier that I have here has 2 prongs on one end, which allows you to line it up with the prongs on the end piece through the drill holes. The opposite side has an opening, which is used to be able to grab that end piece and your temple. Entering it from the top of our lens, set my end piece in the opening, and I'm gonna align the prongs up with the drill holes, and with a light pinch, I push that temple, separate that temple from the frame. Now comes what I find is one of the most tedious steps of the process: removing the leftover sleeve material off the post of our end piece. The easiest way to do this is coming at it from the back of the end piece. Take your cutting plier and just gently cut a tear into that material. Once doing so, you can usually very easily pull it off. And again, I say usually. There's a reason why I say this is the most tedious. There we go. Once we have that off, pay close attention to the rivets that are around the post of your end piece. These are locking rivets. They are designed with a smooth surface. If you touch it going downwards, it has a smooth surface, which makes it easy for the sleeve to slide on. If you move your finger towards the back of it, you'll feel how the underside of those rivets are very sharp. That is what locks our sleeves in place. So as long as you have a perfect mounting, your rimless will never loosen up. We would repeat that same process for both the bridge and our other temple side. And that is the end of the demounting process. Now let's put it back together. For the mounting, we're going to start the same way by using our tape. We're going to take the tape and line it right up against the drill holes on the front, wrapping it around the back, just as we did before. Doing that at both the top and the bottom of your drill hole. You would also repeat this process again for both the bridge and your other temple side. Once our tape is in place and our lens is secured, we take on one of our sleeves and inserting it from the back side of the lens. Once we get it in, you want to get a finger up behind it. That is to ensure that at any time during the mounting process, we do not want that sleeve to back out away from the lens. We do not want it to lose contact. So once we have that tightly in place, we use our cutting plier to remove the excess material from the post of the sleeve. This is where my thumbtack tip comes in. Using the thumbtack, gently open up those holes in a circular motion. When using the cutting plier and pinching the post, it can sometimes squeeze them shut, which can make it difficult to get your mounting started. So just by using the thumbtack in a circular motion, you can open those holes up to make it easier to get started. Once you have done that, that is where my demo lens tip is going to come in. Using an old demo or a discarded patience lens, we're going to place the demo up against the back of our lens and against that sleeve. This provides us leverage as we try to get the mounting process started, but it also keeps us from pinching our fingers. So I'm going to start by aligning up the post from my end piece with my drill holes. Pressing that in as hard as I can to get it started long enough for me to grab my mounting plier to finish the process. Using our mounting plier, which any good mounting plier will have 2 grooves on each side of it. One of them is to set your sleeve in place, and the other is to grab your end piece. Once they are set and in the groove, with a light squeeze, you will feel that end piece slide down into that sleeve. Once that is complete, you want to inspect it to make sure from the back side that your sleeve is flat and flush up against the lens. It should look clean. If for any reason it looks bent or impressed, you want to take it out and start over. That means that at some point the sleeve got pushed back so that the post on the sleeve is not completely around the post on the end piece. If it's not, it doesn't allow those rivets to lock it in place. But as long as it's flat and up against your lens, you've now got a perfect mount. So now I'm going to take the tape off, get these cleaned up, and we'll show you your finished product. And so here it is, a perfectly assembled Rodenstock Custom Essentials chassis. Pay close attention to each of the sleeves, how clean and flat they are up against each of the lenses, neither showing any bends or impressions. A mounting you can feel confident in. And that's a wrap on today's video on mounting and dismounting a Rodenstock Custom Essentials. We do hope that it proves to be helpful in your success of selling rimless eyewear. For more technical information or questions, please contact us at 307-763-4699 4944, option 1, to be put in contact with the rimless specialist servicing your area. 2 side notes: the white gloves that I used, well, they're simply optional. Although they do help to prevent getting fingerprints on a patient's lens, I simply just used them to highlight what I was doing. And lastly, if you're interested on how the color was done around each of the lenses of the frame I used to demonstrate, well, be sure to watch my next video on how to be a rimless artist. Happy selling!